Hi everyone, happy Friday. I want to make sure we are in the right place on Facebook. It's been giving me a little bit of fits today. Oh, I see us, so maybe we are okay. Looks like it. Okay, I think we're good. Again, happy Friday. It's crazy. It's almost the end of August. Hope everyone is doing wonderfully. It's a lot going on. It's craziness. It's for sure. Grab that so I have it. I have the cutest card for you tonight. So easy. It really is easy. I just love how it turned out. We'll wait a couple minutes, give everybody a chance to get on. I'm a couple minutes early, but I wanted to make sure I got connected, and then we'll get started. The weather wasn't horrible here today. It was cooler, if you count mid-80s cool. Better than the 90s with a lot of humidity, that's for sure. Okay. Lots to share. And again, like I said, you're gonna love this card. All right, I am gonna go ahead and get started. Today is Friday, August 21st, 2026, and this is our weekly Facebook Live here in DonnaStamps. And I appreciate everyone being here. If you don't know me, my name is Donna Schneidmiller. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I am soon to be on my 23rd year, so it's crazy. It's just crazy that time is flying so quickly. A couple of things that are going on today is the last of 3 days of double Stampin' Rewards on any orders of $20 or more. So if you have an order that you've been wanting to place, now would be a great time to do that so that you can get double points. So of course, that's always fun. You use those for an order in the future, and of course you can let those stack up. We also have our designer series paper and cardstock sale. Various papers and cardstocks are 15% off. Now that doesn't end today. That is for the whole month of August, but you can definitely stack those to take full advantage of all of the opportunities out there. We also have a gorgeous product of the month. We actually played with it on our last Facebook Live. It is this gorgeous paper. Hey, Linda. Gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. It is called The Glow of Harvest, and it is a wonderful designer series paper, 12 by 12. Now, this little paper is a little bit different. It is a specialty paper, and it only has print on one side, so your back side is white, but it's absolutely stunning. And here's a picture of it that kind of gives you an idea of just how pretty that paper is. I love all the colors. It's got Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, and Pecan Pie. And of course, fall is one of my favorite times to make cards, so I'm very excited about that. And then of course, coming up at the beginning of September, we have our brand new September to December mini catalog. I do have them here. It is awesome. Isn't that advent calendar just adorable? I do have them. Hi, Diana. If you are interested and not currently working with a demonstrator and would like a hard copy, just let me know. I do not charge for my catalogs, and I will be happy to get one to you. You can either swing by and pick it up. You can pick it up at an upcoming event, etc. So lots of opportunities to get them. And there is all kinds of stuff in there. We're also going to have brand new online exclusives that are going to be starting in September as well. So you'll be able to take advantage of those. As far as upcoming events, today is the last day to get in on early bird registration for my summer retreat, which is going to be on September 19th. Now, registration doesn't close until September 4th. Is that right? Yep, September 4th. And that's the day you have to pay by. But if you register by today and hold your spot, you're going to get a special gift from me. And I am having a blast putting everything together for that. It is an all-day event. I only do one-day retreats. It's from 9 to 6. It includes your table space, plus lunch and dinner. We have tons of prizes and giveaways and just a whole lot of fun. You bring whatever it is that you want to work on, and just spend the day having fun and being creative. And the girls are just the best. So I think you'll have a wonderful time if you've never been before. Other upcoming events on next Friday, a week from today, is my Sips and Cards at Off the Rails here in Buchel. That is $35. You're going to make 4 cards, and it includes a glass of wine or drink of your choice, beer, etc. They have a wide variety of things. Their wine slushies and their bourbon slushies are to die for. And if you mix them, oh, they're even better. But check that out. You have until Wednesday to register. And then the next Stamp-A-Stack is all occasions. That is on Saturday the 30th, and it is from 1 to 4:30. We make 16 cards for each of 4 designs for $25. If you're on my team, you get to come for 16. And we're also having our stash sale that day. I have 10 ladies from my team who have lots of goodies that they want to part with. And so come check them out. You're going to find some incredible deals, and things are priced to go. So come check them out. Who knows? It's not just Stampin' Up! Products. It is any kind of crafting product. So you might find, and I don't know because I haven't seen what they have, but of course, scrapbooking, card making. I think I saw there was some things for the Cricut. What else? Diamond art, yarn, you name it. It's all included in the sale. So come check that out. Okay. And again, there is no cost to come to Stash Sale. You don't have to come and make cards in Stamp-A-Stack if you come to Stash Sale, and you don't have to do Stash Sale if you sign up to come to Stamp-A-Stack. But it's kind of nice to be able to do 2 things at once, right? Okay, now make sure you're commenting, saying hello, and letting me know that you're here. Hello to everyone who's watching. I see lots of people, so make sure that you comment. I always put your name into the drawing for 2 different drawings, one for commenting, one for sharing. And I always give away the card that we did on our last live. And this is the one we did. This features, of course, that gorgeous paper. I wish you could see the shimmer. If I put the camera down, you could probably see it a little bit better. But it works like this. So it's a double flip. So when you open it, it goes this way. And then, of course, it opens in the center. I know you all are probably saying, Donna, it's still backwards. What's going on? I promise you, it's in the works. I've just been really crazy busy this week with work, and I haven't had the opportunity to practice. And, you know, I have to practice several times before I try it. But we will be going live with a new mechanism soon, and everything's going to be in the right direction. But make sure you're commenting. I'm going to put your name into this drawing here, and let's see who's going to get that card. That's going to go, oops, I got 2. That's going to go to Diana Harris. So Diana, I will get that to you. I have a stack here I need to get to you also. And then, of course, if you share my video, type the word shared in all capital letters for me. And that way I know who it was that shared, because, you know, Facebook doesn't always share that information to me. So that way I will know. Put the word shared in all cap letters. And then you'll go into this drawing, and let's see who's going to get a stack of cards. That's going to go to Kim Lanham. So I have her information as well. All right. So who's going to the fair? I'm not going till Tuesday. It's senior day. Take the day off and go on senior day. Because you don't have to pay to get in. You don't have to pay to park. It's awesome, right? Plus, weekends are crazy. Hopefully, it's a nice, cool day. And then, of course, as always, I'd like to give away lots of fun stuff. And each month, when you place an order in my online store that is $35 or more, I send you out an embellishment. And this month, it is the Pearls of Beauty. I love how shimmery these are. Of course, you're getting a glare off of the cellophane, but a great option that you can use. And the nice thing about these is that you can color them with your blends. So the white ones you can easily color to any color that you need. Okay. And then one thing I always forget to tell you is if you place a $75 order in order to get the product of the month for $5, I will send you out a tutorial that has 8 projects using the product of the month, and I send that to you absolutely free. So you have that to take advantage of as well. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down. So hold tight for a second and let me do that. And hopefully we are where we need to be. We've got plenty of light. Okay, hi Nancy. Okay, so we are going to be working with the Relaxing Waterside bundle tonight. I love the dies in here, but I also love the different sentiments. And it pairs with a paper pumpkin that was from April that was called what is it called? Lakeside Retreat. And it also works very well with this entire bundle. Now, let me show you real quick. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. Let me grab my catalog, and I'll show you where it is. It is on page 20 here in the catalog. You've got this gorgeous designer series paper. You have the bundle with the dies, of course. And then you have these awesome loose anchor trinkets. I wasn't sure what they called them, but they're so nice. We're actually going to use them tonight, so you'll get to see how cool they are. But all of this information is still available. It is not on our last chance list, which is wonderful. So we'll be able to enjoy it for a little bit longer. But look at these dies, okay? I love this chair. You have one that you can die cut out if you stamp it, as well as several different sentiments, etc. And then for your chair, you have 2 different backs. We're actually going to use this one to make an Adirondack chair. Hopefully I said that right, but that's what we're going to use. Okay, let me also show you the paper that's here. Now, I used this paper for my Club Cove for the month of July. Let me just show you those cards real quick. If you don't know what Club Cove is, I do a monthly kit to go. You make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. I always throw some fun folds in there. Let me move this paper real quick. You get $20 to $25 worth of product, as well as the color PDF that's step-by-step instructions. So just some awesome different things that you can do with it. They receive linen thread plus the trinkets. This is a bridge card. I love this fun fold. It's a hidden door card. And then this one. So you can kind of just see how we incorporate everything in it. It's one of my, I didn't think I needed this, but I fell in love with it and I can't stop using it. So the PDF is still available. If you're interested in the cards, just reach out to me and let me know and I'll get you that information. It's $15 for any of the PDFs for my Club Coves. And there's a list of them out on my DonnaStamps.com website of all that we've done. But let me show you this paper. I can never remember the name. It's called Waterside Retreat. And you're going to see some fun things that we've done with it. I've cut out different elements as well. And you can see I've used a lot of it. So I think this is my third pack. But great cards for the lake. I love this wood. And then you've got bicycles. And again, these elements are awesome that you can use to die cut them out and add them as elements. This one is fun because you have all these different elements that you can cut apart and use on as card fronts or as just elements on scrapbook pages, etc. Just love them. This one, of course, love that one too. And then all of the paddles and life jackets. A nice stripe. And again, this is a great paper to use for all your masculine cards, whether you are a lake or fishing person or not. It's great for that. Love this plaid too. The colors are very nice. And then you have fish and water. So a nice, nice paper pack. All right. Let me show you the pieces that you're going to need. This card was shared by two of my teammates who happen to be sisters, Bonnie and Betty, and they demonstrated this card design at our team meeting that we just had, and I will show you their card here in a few minutes. But this is so easy and so fun. So let me tell you, you need 4 basic pieces, all the same color. And then you can decorate it however you want. So my 4 pieces are all going to be Secret C. We're going to start with just a normal card front. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You need another piece that's going to make another, like a mini card, so to speak. That's 8 1/2 by 4 1/4, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4 so that you actually have a square card. You need another piece that is 6 1/4 by 3 7/8, and we're going to score that at 3/4 from the top. And then the last piece that you need is this strip that is 4 3/4 by 1, and you're going to score each end at 1/4. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do the basic card and how it all works, and then we will decorate it, okay? And most of the elements I've already done, so it'll just be a matter of assembling. So I'm going to go ahead and score. These little tabs on this one are going to go under, okay? This one, that is our long piece with the 3/4 score, we're going to fold down and put that tab in the back, okay? And then this one is just a 4 1/4 squared card. And we've got that. Okay, now, this is going to sound weird, and it was a little confusing when it was explained to me, but I think I've got it down pat now, okay? So, you're basically building the card from the back. I know that sounds silly, but it'll make sense once we get going, okay? And when you see it, you're going to go, oh, that's so easy. Okay, so with your base piece, which is your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece, that's where you're going to start. We're going to take that little mini card, and with the flap, let me just line that up just a tad bit better. We're going to adhere this with the flap opening up, okay? We're going to adhere it to our card base, okay, with the bottoms laying flush, okay? Now, I want to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room. You all know I'm not a big liquid glue fan because I end up wearing it probably more than I get on to the project. But because I need to be able to wiggle things around, I'm going to use it tonight. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just going to line it up flush at the bottom, okay? And when you use the liquid glue, you can see, kind of see how I stacked it, okay? So you've got this gap at the top, and then your card's going to open like this, okay? So that's the first step. The second step is that piece that, again, we're working on the back, okay? We have the piece that has the 3/4 inch score line. We folded that tab down, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did to this one, except instead of lining it up at the bottom, we're going to line it up at the top, and we're going to add adhesive to the back of this tab, okay? And if I didn't tell you, this is a pop-out surprise card, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of center it. And again, you see, because I'm using liquid glue, I have wiggle room, okay? And I'm just going to kind of center it with that tab under, okay? So it looks like this, okay? Clean up your mess. You see what I mean when I say I end up having it everywhere. Okay, so that's that piece. That's 2 pieces together, okay? And then our last little piece, we're gonna open this up so that it's at the top, and we're gonna add adhesive on these 2 little tabs. And if you haven't noticed, less is more, and that's probably why I end up wearing it, okay? And this is going to go right on top of the piece that we have here, okay? And we're going to put it close to the bottom. If you want to line it up perfectly, you can. And you're just going to have it centered as well right on the card. So you have this little flap right here, okay? Now, when we decorate, one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to cut some designer series paper, and the pieces that I'm going to use are this bird piece. This is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm using the wood grain. This one is 4 by 4. Then I have another piece that is 3 5/8 by 2 1/2. And then I have a 3 by 3 square. And this piece you can kind of do however you want. But what I have found that works for me is take that smaller piece, and you're going to think, Donna, you're crazy. But what you want to do is you want to put it on the top of the inside. So we're going to put it right up here. When you see how this card works, it'll make sense on why I'm doing that. Now, you don't have to. I just find that it worked a little easier for me when I was putting it all together to do this first, okay? So we're going to stick this, like I said, right up here in the top, okay? Just like that. And again, this is all the back, okay? So it's going to go like that. Once you get that adhered, and again, you can adhere it after the fact, you're going to take this whole strip and you're going to tuck it underneath that flap. Okay, now if anything happens to hang off the bottom, just use your scissors and trim it, but this one looks pretty good. Okay, now when we flip it over, this is the front of our card. Okay, this is where we're going to open. And what's going to happen is that when we lift it, that little panel pops out at the bottom. Isn't that cool? I just love it. But you can see how and why. Now, if you wanted to decorate it and tuck that up in there, you could. I just thought it was easier to put that piece on the card this way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let's add some designer series paper. On the front, I'm going to add this piece of with the seagulls. And once I get all of this added, then we will do our stamping. Okay. So I'm going to add this to the front, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to open it up, and on this middle section, I'm going to add this other piece of wood grain. Okay. Now you could add a piece of white up here at the top if you wanted, so that you have additional room to write a message, etc. I'm not, but you definitely could. The other thing that's fun about this is I'm actually going to decorate this little pop-out panel, but you could easily put a gift card here, or you could even put it up here as well. Okay, so now we've got our base card ready to go, okay, and we can go ahead and decorate it. So I'm going to first start, like I said, with this 3x3 piece, and I'm using Secret C for everything. This is going to go on the inside, and what I'm doing is this is your day, okay? And I'm just going to stamp that up here at the top, just like that. And then from the Designer Series paper, I cut out some of the elements. So I cut out, this is actually going to be a retirement card for a friend of mine who lives in Florida, just moved to Florida, and is loving being, he's kind of on, I think it's called a canal, but there's seagulls. He sits there and fishes. He gets out on his little boat. So I thought this would be a fun card. But I am going to take these little elements, and I'm just going to add them right here on this. Now, I'm going to go ahead first, I think, and add this to the center. Yeah, I want to do that first. I'm doing the inside first, and then we'll do the front. Okay, so this is going to go right here in the center. And you could make this, that's not straight. You can make this as big or as little as you want. If you don't want to use Designer Series paper, you can put cardstock in it and stamp it. It's totally up to you. Okay, much better. All right, then I'm just going to add some adhesive here. I want to put this down here in the corner, and I wanted it to overlap. And then I have this little buoy, and I'm going to add the little buoy right up here. Okay. That way I still have room to write. Okay. Now, when I go to decorate this, and I want to make it look like it's hanging off the corner, so I'm just going to do it just like that. Okay. So there's that middle panel. Down here, you know, from time to time, where'd the Designer Series paper go? Let me find the piece I'm looking for. Okay, we'll use this one as an example. From time to time, you'll have elements that are missing a section. Well, don't, like up here, don't throw those away. You can use these paddles, etc. And that's exactly what I did for this bottom panel. Is when I cut out my panels, it was on the edge of the paper, and I didn't want to throw it away. I wanted to use it. So what I'm going to do is line this edge up with this edge right here, so that it looks like it was intended and that I cut it off on purpose. Okay, so let me, oh, I know what I want to do. So this is a cool thing. If you have little pieces of things like this, you can use your tweezers. Old school used to take a sponge and daub it. But again, Bonnie and Betty, they share so many cool things with our team. They brought me this, and they've been telling me about it, and I'm like, I don't know what she's telling me. This is a baster from the Dollar Tree. Okay, it's silicone. She just trimmed off the ends, right? And then she takes her liquid glue, and she makes a little puddle, maybe not that much, and then she sticks her brush down in it. I just think this is incredible. So it picks up the glue, right? And then she just daubs it onto whatever it is that she's die cutting. The cool thing about this, I'm going to use my tweezers, but the cool thing about it is if you've been around for a while and you've used glue on a sponge, you know that the sponge gets hard, it gets all over everything, and it's just hard to clean up. You know, you have to stick it in a little bag. This, because it's silicone, all you have to do is rinse it off under the sink and then put it back into your rack. So, ingenious, ingenious. They're always bringing me cool ideas and sharing them with our team. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. So, run to the Dollar Tree, over with the utensils, buy a McCormick, trim off some of the ends, and off you go. Okay, so here we are so far. Okay, and you want to make sure you have something fairly flat down there. Now what I want to add is I've got the smallest, it's either the smallest or the second smallest stitch circle from Stylish Shapes. And I'm going to do here's to a new chapter. Like I said, he's retiring. He's all excited to be able to go fishing more. And I'm just going to do here's to a new chapter in Secret Sea. And I'm going to stick it right here. Okay. And I want to put it flat because I don't want the mechanism to catch on it. Okay. All right. So now we have our inside all decorated. Okay. And it looks like this. And again, the way you hold it, it will work. Okay. There it goes. Just like that. Okay. Now for our front, I have one of the, what is that called? It just went out of my head. I know what this is, but it left me. Spotlight on Nature. I knew that. And I'm just going to take this big circle. Okay, and I'm going to add it right down here in the corner. Okay, so I still want to leave the birds there. I'm going to add that. And then, where did my silicone mat go? Up here. Okay. I have die cut out that Adirondack chair. And when you cut the chair out itself, it cuts out this piece and this little piece, which actually is right there, okay? Now, you can add this if you want. If you don't want it, you don't have to. I love that it kind of ties all this together. So we're just going to add, let me see if I can pick it up this way. I don't know. We'll try. If I can get enough glue on there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And this piece is going to go right across the front of the chair, just like that. And again, don't get too much. If you do, give it a second to dry, and then pull out your trusty eraser. And actually, we don't need to do that too much because we're going to cover part of it up. Okay. So there is, just like I said, the little decoration of the chair. I'm going to let it dry just a little bit more first. Now, in order to assemble your chair has two backs, like I said. You've got this one, and you have, where'd he go? Right here. You have this one. So you'll notice they each have a tab at the bottom. The tab is where you are going to add your adhesive in order to make this work, okay? So once again, I'm going to use my little silicone, and I'm going to add glue right down here on that tab, okay? I want it to sit for just a second so that it gets tacky but not dry, okay? Then I want to put adhesive across the top of my chair. And you'll see why here in a second. So same thing, I'm just gonna add adhesive by tapping it. So it's not completely dry, but it's tacky. And all you have to do is tuck this in here and push it down so that it adheres onto the back of the chair, okay, that little tab. And then because we put adhesive across that crossbar, we can then add the top, and then you get this super cute chair. Isn't it adorable? I just love it. I just love it. Okay, now what I want to do with this is I'm going to actually move this so I don't put my hand in it. Yes, Terry, I love my new tool. Love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to use some, whoops, throwing things. I'm going to use some mini dimensionals. And of course, you could use the black ones if you want. You can use some corners. Because I'm putting this down on white, I'm just going to go ahead and use white and keep it as much as I can, like on the crossbar, just like this. And I'm not really going to inundate it. I'm just going to, I think that'll work. You could cut one in half if you lay it in the right place with the little tabs going up and down on the side of the chair. You can put it on the handle too. All right, oops, come on. There we go. All right, so we've got our chair done. Let me go ahead and take these off. The mini dimensionals love to stick to me. I do not know why. Of course, if you have glue all over your hands, they're definitely going to stick. Okay, so we're going to add our chair right across here. And yes, I want it to hang off. Okay, just like that. All right. Then I have a stitched, stylish shapes stitched banner. And I told you about the Lakeside Retreat. Well, inside the lake, of course, is a stamp set. And one of the images in here is older, wiser, better. And I thought that's perfect for this card on the front. So I'm going to stamp. We're going to hold our mouth right and pray it's centered. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so we got that done, right? Now I'm going to take some linen thread. And I'm a little iffy if I want to do this, but we'll see when I get done. If you haven't picked up on it, I'm kind of doing this on the fly. I have it in my head when I want to do, but I haven't really. Usually I make one first, and I didn't. So I'm going to do, I don't know, let's see. We'll just do it like this. I think I'm going to go ahead and tie a double bow. Do men like bows? I don't know. Okay. When I make a double bow, I figure out what the length is I need. I go ahead and cut the loop, and then I tie a knot in the center. And I do that because it helps to keep the strings from going in different directions, especially when I'm down here close. Okay, so I'm just gonna make my bunny ears. I do want tails, so I'm gonna leave them on. I'm gonna grab my scissors because, like I said, I managed to get glue all over my fingers and I can feel it. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of bring that down a little bit. Perfect. There's my double bow. All right, then what I'm gonna do is I want to center this because my chair is not centered. So I'm gonna put a dimensional over here on this side. Some full ones, just just like that. But I'm gonna brace the chair, or excuse me, the rest of the label across the chair. So I'm gonna pull that out, and I'm gonna do this just like this. So now, am I centered? Let me see. There, that's better. And I want the bottom of that like chair there to show. So I'm going to tuck this right about there. Okay. I've got my knot here. What I want to do is, I think I want to add, so you get, how many do you get? You get 20 of these. Maybe I can show you. There we go. They're not uberly heavy, but they do have some weight to them. But super nice. They're the same on both sides. They're flat, so you can definitely add them. I wonder. Oh, hold please. Okay. I guess we're going to be using an anchor. All right, so I'm gonna grab a glue dot. And the nice thing about these is that little loop at the top of the anchor sits perfectly on the glue dot, so you can easily lift it off. Yep, and it's stuck. All right, so I'm gonna add that right there. And I think what I'm gonna do is add another one, but I'm gonna kind of scrunch it up, and I'm just gonna tuck it right here. Let's see if I can get it there. So that this, yep, will sit just like that. Oh, good job, Donna. Okay, now we still got our bow, and I wanna add my bow. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna kind of scrunch it up. I'm gonna add it right here. And we'll make it go this way. There we go. Ooh, I love it. Okay. So we did get to use our anchor. Oh, so cute. Okay. Now, we could add some dots if we wanted, but quite honestly, I think these dots are a little bit big, and I don't want to overbearing the card, right? I don't want to inundate it. So what do you think? Dots or no dots? I almost think not, but you tell me. And then, of course, when we open our card, you hold it over to the side, and it opens just like this. So how cute, right? So cute. Now, this is the one that was done at our team meeting. And again, she used the designer series paper that we had a while back. When we do our cards and all of our different projects that we share, as long as it's Stampin' Up! Product, it doesn't have to be current. And that way, the girls are using what they already have at home. So the girls wanted to show this card, and then we asked them to demonstrate it because it was just so cool. But look how cute that is with the different designer series papers, and then they have still the ability to write or stamp something for birthday. I love how that turned out in the monochromatic, right? So what do you think? Do we need gems on here? I don't know. I can't decide. I kind of think not. I think I'm going to leave it. But again, super easy. Now, I want to show you the template that I put together so I have it. Again, you're going to be doing everything on the back. So the one thing that you want to remember is you've got your back piece, right? Which is just your quarter sheet. Everything lines up top or bottom. So you've got your your smaller piece that makes the small card that lines up at the bottom. You tuck the tab, okay? adhere the tab at the top flush, open it up, add the little strip at the bottom with the tabs on each side tucked under and adhered down, and then this pops in here like that. And it's crazy to me how it makes it work, but when you pull it, there's your pop. So super easy again, and then there's lots of options to decorate it. Now, I've seen some people doing it this way, to where, this way. When they open the card, the pop-up is over here. Now, of course, you're gonna need something that's smaller for your pop-up, but again, I just think this is so cool what you could do with it, right? Just so cool. No dots. Everyone's saying no dots. Terry said, or grayish blue. I might have some silver like rhinestones. I don't know. I don't want it to, I think with all the texture, I almost just want to leave it. I don't know. But I'm going to be making lots more of these, that's for sure. So, again, I'll have all the measurements for you up on the Creative Cove shortly after, along with some additional pictures. Give this one a try. I think you're going to find, like I said, that once you figure out that you're working on the back of the card and you line everything up, it's a breeze. Super easy. So, give it a try. We will be back next week for our next one. Again, don't forget, today is the last day to get in on the early bird special for Creative Cove on September 19th. And then the double points ends tonight at 1 o'clock Louisville time. So I always say midnight just to make sure I get it in. But who doesn't want double points, right? So thanks for being here tonight. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the fair if you go. And I'll talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.